Everyone, welcome to the Atlanta Wellness Ecosystem. Join us as we interview Atlanta-based wellness experts and learn how you can implement and improve one dimension of wellness at a time. Our experts will share their practical tips on wellness in one of these core areas: emotional, intellectual, occupational, physical, environmental, financial, spiritual, social, or habitual. We created this podcast as a resource for anyone who is looking to integrate the 9 elements of holistic wellness into their daily lives. Now, first of all, I want to cover the 9 areas, and I'll get into the foundations and where this came from. But the intention is we want to help our viewers and our listeners develop holistic wellness, focusing on their impact and freedom. And what we've done is just keep this simple. We've broken it down into 3 core areas. Loosely, they are mind, body, and spirit. And within each of those core areas, we have 3 critical areas that we want to focus on. So under mind, we have emotional, intellectual, and occupational. Under body, we have physical, environmental, and financial. And last but not least, under spirit, we have spiritual, social, and habitual. I'll explain what each of those are in a little bit more detail. But first, I want to acknowledge the origins of our wellness journey. And we would not have been on this path if not for Dr. Swarbrick and the 8 wellness dimensions. I'll share more on that in a second. Maslow's hierarchy of needs drives all that we do. It's the foundation. So it's important that you understand it. And then last but not least, I want to talk briefly about Atomic Habits by James Clear. So first and foremost, you will recognize the 8 wellness dimensions. They make up 8 of the 9 areas that we focus on. So first, let's define wellness as a conscious, deliberate process that requires a person to become aware of and make choices for a more satisfying lifestyle. So the 8 wellness dimensions, as created by Dr. Peggy Swarbrick in 2012, are number 1, physical, and that's recognizing the need for physical care. So that includes physical activity, diet, sleep, and nutrition. The second area is spiritual, and that's expanding our sense of purpose and meaning in life. 3 is social, developing a sense of connection, belonging, and a well-developed support system. So we're not alone, we have that support structure around us. 4 is intellectual, recognizing our creative abilities and finding ways to expand both knowledge and skills. 5 is emotional, that's coping effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. 6 is occupational, it's personal satisfaction and enrichment derived from one's work. 7 is environmental, it's good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. And finally, we have financial, it's satisfaction with current and future financial situations. And this is condensed from an article published by Rutgers University. The link is there if you want to check it out and read more about Dr. Swarbrick. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow is a social scientist. He's very well respected. He's widely quoted, and he's come up with a hierarchy of needs. And basically, from the bottom of the hierarchy upwards, we have to meet certain needs before we can move up to the next level. So the lower needs always have to be satisfied before an individual can focus on the higher level needs. And if you don't believe me, just think about this. So normally it's presented as a pyramid, and it's usually number 1 is at the bottom and number 5 is at the top. But physiological needs, if you're hungry or thirsty or you can't breathe or you don't have shelter, you can't focus on anything else. So we need to recognize our fellow human around us. If they're deprived of either air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, or the ability to reproduce, they're not going to be in a position to focus on higher level needs. So if you're trying to help somebody, the first thing you can do is recognize where they're at and see if you can help them meet the basic needs so that they can move up. Safety needs are number 2 in the pyramid going up, and that's the personal security, personal safety. It's job security with employment, it's having resources, health, property, it's knowing that we're secure. Number 3 in the hierarchy is love and belonging. That includes things like friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection, sense of community, whether that's local or broader, or like, at the state level or the country level. Number 4 is esteem, and this is both the respect of others and self-esteem. And it's the status, the recognition, the strength that we feel, and the freedom that we experience. And then the top of the pyramid is 5, self-actualization. And that is where we start to focus on fulfilling the need, the desire to be the most that we can be. So one of the things I challenge you, and this is, you can get more detail at the URL below, but one of the things I would challenge you is to recognize where you are and just accept that, because only by accepting it and recognizing where you need to be, what you need to focus on, can you then move up a level. And one of the things I challenge you as a listener or a viewer of this is, once you've reached another level, see who around you you can help, who you can lift up, because we can make the world a better place just by helping other people reach that next level on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, the last thing I want to point out is we talk about the 8 wellness dimensions, whereas I actually talk about the 9 elements of holistic wellness. And the 9th one is one we've added, and that's the habitual. And James Clear is by far my favorite author in this space, and he talks about atomic habits. And basically, he uses the phrase atomic, or the word atomic, because it's breaking things down into the smallest level of detail. And in his book, he talks and makes a really good case that if you just get 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 30 times better by the time the year is up. So you can learn more about that at his website, jamesclear.com. And if you want just a quick little video summary of the book, you can go to this YouTube link. It's about a 28-minute video. You can watch it at higher speed. Absolutely brilliant summary of the book. I highly recommend you read the book, but before you jump into reading the book, watch the summary. It'll help you as you process the book. So one of the things we do is to help somebody become holistic and have that holistic wellness. We create a habit. So we're going to have a goal for each one of these areas around the outer edge. And basically what we're going to do is break that goal into bite-sized chunks. So for the next 90, 100 days, we're going to focus on step 1 for each of these, perhaps. And what we want to do is create daily habits, at least 1 for each of these 9 core areas. So yes, you can get in the habit of creating habits. And what we're looking for is deliberate, intentional habits that will make all of these things part of our life. So we're not looking to just improve one thing and we're going to have a very lopsided life. We want to slowly create habits where our outer circle of possibility expands. We're going to get better and better at. So join us. We're going to interview experts in these various fields. We're going to get them to share their best tips of the day. What are some things you can do to improve this one area? What are some pitfalls you might be falling into that you should watch out for? So I look forward to sharing our story with you and connecting you with other local experts in Atlanta. Thank you for your time.